VBN, The Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, great personality profiles, great professional wrestling video blogs, great sports video blogs, great MBTA video blogs, great top 10 list of everything and anything, and a whole lot more. A collection of my work goes back to June of 2014 on various social media websites. RVBN, the only video blog on the internet that matters. Time now is 6:27 in the evening, Billerica, Massachusetts. It's Sunday, May 7th, 2017. Reached 66 degrees out today in Billerica, Massachusetts. Mostly sunny skies. There were some times when it was clouding over a little bit, but we avoided the raindrops. But we won't be so fortunate the next 5 days. They say it's going to go downhill with temperatures only in the 50s and several chances of rain showers, damp, dreary, and cool. Next weekend for Mother's Day looks like in the 60s and 70s, but subject to change because when this weather pattern, you don't know when it's going to break. Some news to report on the RVBN Newswire. Boston Red Sox crushed the Minnesota Twins by the score of 17-6. The Red Sox scored 10 runs in the 9th inning. The bats are waking up. Also, the Nashville Predators beat the St. Louis Blues by a score of 3-1 to advance to their first ever Western Conference Finals. There's only 2 teams in the NHL that have not made the conference finals. The Blue Jackets and Thrashers/Jets franchise never even won a playoff series, both teams. Not counting the Vegas Golden Knights because they have not played one single NHL game yet. And the Cleveland Cavaliers beat the Toronto Raptors 109-102, sweeping the Raptors out of the playoffs. 8 straight wins by the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're hot. And Team USA beat Denmark at the World Hockey Men's Championships by the score of 7-1. And that's about it on news from the RVBN Newswire. Be back in a flash with my third and final video blog of the night, but first, my second and final video blog of the night, but first, hear this. Tomorrow on RVBN, 3 video blogs for your entertainment. First video blog will be the personality profile. Tomorrow's personality profile is about former WCW and WWE wrestler Paul Roma. Second video blog of the day will be about the Brockton Area Transit Authority, or the BAT. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about the top 10 list of the best NHL players of all time never to win the Hart Trophy as league's MVP. Later on this week, a video blog about the history of Hooters of Boston. You can't wait for that. I'm back. My second and final video blog subject of the night is about WCW WrestleWar 1989 pay-per-view, which happened at the Nashville Municipal Auditorium on May 7th, 1989, 28 years ago today, on pay-per-view. This is a review of the card. The headline match for this was for the NWA World Title. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the champion, facing off against Nature Boy Ric Flair to end this. This was the third and final match of their series of big-time matches they had. And there must have been the weather. One, plus other exciting matches. Calling the action for this paid-per-view was good old JR Jim Ross and Bob Cuttle. And it was a matinee, and 5,200 attended the WrestleWar 1989 pay-per-view. I wonder how many freebies WCW gave to this card to make sure it looked like a sellout. The first match was the Great Muta with Gary Hart facing off against Doug Gilbert, substituting for the Junkyard Dog. Dog, who no-showed his card. He probably knew he was going to be doing the job at the PPV, but didn't show up. He was fired from WCW soon afterwards, the Junkyard Dog. And this was basically a total squash match. The Great Muta pinned Doug Gilbert in about 3.5 minutes with a back breaker and a moonsault afterwards. Eddie Gilbert and the Great Muta had a showdown. The next match was Hacksaw Butch Reed facing off against Ranger Ross. Ranger Ross was brought to the ring by the Color Guard. This was a very highly competitive match. During the middle of the match, Teddy Long, who was suspended by WCW as a referee for life, was scouting both men, and he was to add to his stable. Butch Reed wins this match by pinning Ranger Ross with a flying shoulder breaker. That was an awesome move. It was a decent match, but it's nothing to write home about. The next match was a Texas Bull Rope match. It was Cowboy Bob Orton with Gary Hart facing off against Dick Murdoch, who they were having a decent TV feud. And this was only about a 5-minute Bull Rope match, thank God, because both Dick Murdoch and Bob Orton at this time were basically over the hill. And Dick Murdoch wins by putting the rope on to Bob Orton and pinning him 1, 2, 3 afterwards. Dick Murdoch was going to attack Gary Hart, but Bob Orton sneaks up from behind and attacks Dick Murdoch and beats him with the bull rope. It had a couple of referees break Dick Murdoch free. The next match was a tag team match. It was the Samoan SWAT team, Fatu and Samu, with Paulie dangerously in their corner, facing off against the dynamic dudes who were Shane Douglas and Johnny Ace. And this was a decent tag team match. Shane Douglas survived the splash from Fatu and Paul E. Dangerously on the house mic said to Shane Douglas, "You as worthless as a woman in Nashville." That was just a random quote for him to get heat. But in the end, behind the referee's back, Johnny Ace delivers a missile dropkick to Fatu. He puts Shane Douglas on Fatu for the 1, 2, 3. So this was a mild upset. The next match was for the United States Heavyweight Championship. It was the total package. Lex Luger defending United States Champion, facing off against Michael P.S. Hayes, the challenger, with Hiro Matsuda. Michael Hayes turned on Lex Luger in a tag team match at the Omni in Atlanta a few months prior. And this match was a decent match, went 16 minutes. They had Teddy Long scout both Lex Luger and Michael P.S. Hayes. In the end, both Michael Hayes and Lex Luger knocked out referee Nick Patrick. And then returning into WCW, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, he attacked Lex Luger. He puts Michael Hayes on top of Luger for the 1, 2, 3. Michael Hayes wins the United States Championship from Lex Luger, but it was only a short-lived reign because at a house show a few weeks later, Lex Luger regains the United States Championship. The next match was for the NWA TV Championship. It was Sting, the reigning TV champion, facing off against the Iron Sheik with Whip Morgan in his corner as a flag bearer for the Iron Sheik. Whip Morgan was not Iranian. He was just kind of a stooge. This was absolutely a total squash match. Sting beats Iron Sheik by giving him the the Stinger Splash, and putting the Scorpion Deathlock. The former WWE champion taps out in about 2 minutes. The next match was for the NWA World Championship, and it was a 45-minute time limit, and they said they must be a winner. It was the NWA World Champion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He brought down his family with him, his wife at the time, Bonnie, and little Ricky Steamboat Jr., facing off against the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, who brought down a lot of beautiful women, and they had 3 judges for this match in case it went to a time limit draw. Former NWA World Champions Lou Thesz and Pat O'Connell and Terry Funk. You egg-sucking dog, you dusty Rhodes! And Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. This was the third of the 3-match series on television. The pay-per-view and Clash, and Steamboat and Flair's matches were awesome. They topped one another. If I was ever stuck on an island, I would get all those matches to get and watch it. And you know who I'm going to bring with me if I was stuck on an island besides that? Julie Button! But anyway, this went over 30 minutes. Ric Flair beat Ricky Steamboat after Steamboat was going through a power slam, and Ric Flair cradles him for the 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, both Steamboat and Flair shake hands, and afterwards, Jim Ross was up on congratulating Ric Flair by winning the NWA World Title for the 6th time, and Terry Funk, as one of the judges, said he congratulated Ric Flair, and he wanted to be his first challenger, but Ric Flair said that you're not in the top 10, and Terry Funk was joking with him, and then when they shook hands, Terry boom hit Ric Flair, and then Terry Funk pile drived Ric Flair on the table. This was a very extreme move back in 1989, and the fans were booing Terry Funk like crazy. This started the feud of the year in 1989 for Pro Wrestling Illustrated. The next match was for the NWA Tag Team Championships, World Tag Team Championship. It was the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, the Legion of Doom, with Precious Paul Elliott, the challengers, facing off against Dr. Death Steve Williams and Mike Rotundo, representing the Varsity Club, who were the NWA World Tag Team Champions, with Kevin Sullivan, the Games Master. There was a special troubleshooting referee for this match. It was Nikita Koloff, who returned to NWA WCW after 6 months, but this is when Nikita Koloff had his hair, he grew his hair, had it spiked. I didn't like Nikita Koloff having spiked hair. He was much better bald. And early in the match, special referee Nikita Koloff ejected Kevin Sullivan from the ringside area, and when the Road Warriors had the Doomsday device on Mike Rotundo, Kevin Sullivan and Dan Spivey attacked Nikita Koloff, automatically causing the disqualification. The Road Warriors win the match, but they did not win the NWA World Tag Team Championships because the order for the title to change hands in any professional wrestling matchup, the challengers must beat the champion by pinfall, submission, or getting the towel thrown in, and Arnold Skolin knows all about that. And afterwards, the Road Warriors cleared the lane of the Varsity Club. And then the last match on the evening, the de facto main event, because this was last match on the card. This was for the United States Tag Team Championship. It was the challengers Kevin Sullivan and Dan Spivey, representing the Varsity Club, facing off against Rick Steiner and Eddie Gilbert with Missy Hyatt. Originally, this was going to be a singles match. Eddie Gilbert and Kevin Sullivan hair versus hair match. But at the last minute, they decided to change it to a tag team match. Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner were the United States Tag Team Championships. It was about a 6-minute match. Halfway through the match, Rick Steiner kayfabed injured his arm. It wasn't. It was just a part of the storyline. And then, when the referee wasn't looking, Rick Steiner clothesline, Spivey, and then Eddie Gilbert pinned Spivey for the 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, Kevin Sullivan and Danny Spivey attacked both Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner, and Sullivan and Spivey had Missy hired and trapped in a corner, but the faces cleared the lanes of the heel. And when the pay-per-view ended, Jim Ross and Bob Cotto said that the Varsity Club, Rotundo and Williams, were stripped of the tag team titles because of their actions by attacking Nikita Koloff. So they have to put the NWA World Tag Team Champions in the tournament. And this pay-per-view was voted by Wrestling Observer to be the best pay-per-view of all time in 1989. But WrestleWar 1989 was basically a one-match show, in my humble opinion, with Ric Flair versus Ricky Steamboat. The rest of the card was basically average at best, what you would probably typically see on a Clash of Champions. Nothing special except Flair and Steamboat. So I'm giving this a B+. The rest of the card was... And that's about it on that. I'll be back tomorrow. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Brennan guy. Molly Rosebell, WCCO accent. It's nice life. Elizabeth Hot, so stunning. She's the best. Amy Sweets is awesome. Amy Linda Church at WPIX Channel 11, New York. Such a rocky cougar. She's got the best legs in New York City, bar none. Barbara gives her ABC 11 sweet southern accent. Best legs in Raleigh, North Carolina. Alia Woolley of WABI Channel 5 in Bangor, Maine rocks. She got the best legs in Maine. And Haley LaPointe of Channel 9 in Manchester, New Hampshire. Weekend meal, all those she rocks. She got the best legs in Manchester. Bye now.